Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between SlayerS MMA versus aTn's DarkForce here on Metalopolis. DarkForce spawning as the red Zerg player at the 6 o'clock position, meanwhile MMA spawning as the blue Terran player at the 12 o'clock position. Should be a great matchup, Zerg versus Terran. One of those matchups where a lot of people believe, or a lot of people have seen Terran perhaps dominating in the Terran versus Zerg matchup or recently, but then again, a lot of things do change. The metagame does switch favorably, but then again, we are talking about MMA here. The winner of, I believe, one of the MLGs back on the East Coast. I forget which one. I'm sure someone will make a comment in the comments, and hopefully no one will spoil anything about the game itself. Now, 6 o'clock versus 12 o'clock positions. This is going to be a cross spawn. And cross spawn will definitely help DarkForce in being able to establish his second hatchery a little bit more quickly, and also perhaps even being able to establish this third hatchery over here. One of the reasons why Metalopolis often favored Zerg players was the ease at which you can establish that third base. There are no destructible rocks here. It is a rather small map, so it's an easy just creep tumor, 2 to 3 creep tumors in order to transfer any drones over here, and then the Zerg can really powered drone off of 3 bases rather quickly. A Terran player over here, and a very interesting build coming in from MMA. MMA most likely will be setting up another barracks here, and he will be doing a 2 barracks marine pressure. You can tell by the way that these barracks are placed down. Very, very difficult for Banelings or any units to really slip in through here. Very minimal surface area. Banelings will even have a difficult time there, as we are going to be getting up a drone, and the supply depot, yes, the supply depot does raise up just in time, as that drone is pretty much stuck on the low ground and knows that he will have to deal with a lot of marine pressure. Now, based upon the locations here, I would normally say that a bunker may be placed down here. Recently, there's been a change in the metagame where Terran players tried to hide their bunker a little bit further off, hoping that the Zerg player didn't place an Overlord. But by placing a bunker down right here, what you can do is, by placing the bunker here, is you minimize the amount of surface area that Zerglings can deal any damage to it. On top of that, it's right within combat range, and you can also get a lot of damage to that hatchery. Where is that drone going to be going? The drone now looking around, trying to see if there is in fact any bunkers to be placed down, as that SCV now going to come up the ramp, and it doesn't look like he's going to be setting up a bunker just quite yet, as now 6 Zerglings are going to be trained in from DarkForce, as opposed to the customary of 4. So we'll see if DarkForce is really overreacting to this, as the SCV now being forced to back off. We are going to be getting 2 Marines at the center Zelnaga Watchtower, 2 more Marines coming in, and it will be 5 Marines now making their way out. The magic number on Marines is 7. That's how many Marines you want to have in order to do any really sort of early pressure against, especially against Zerglings without metabolic boost, as 7 Marines are able to one-shot a Zergling rather easily and quickly. And now here we go, 1 shot, 2 shots, yes, getting 3 kills without taking any damage. DarkForce losing 75 minerals worth of resources in that engagement there, just because of improper micro. 1 Zergling activating the other Zelnaga tower there, as we are going to get another group of Marines to perhaps try to control this tower here. We are expanding as well, so at the 5-minute mark, MMA looking to expand and also double expanding. So off of this really aggressive double marine pressure, he is now double expanding, hoping to utilize these Marines and take a lot of map control. We should be getting more barracks as well, a 3rd barracks most likely underway in just a moment, or perhaps even a factory. We'll see what is going to go down. It will be a factory, as the barracks are now lifting off. This is a little bit unusual. Not quite sure why he's lifting this off here. Perhaps hoping that the barracks will not cause any more of a choke point, as this 1 supply depot going to get taken down. That supply depot obviously does not give any food, as it is a doodad on the map. We are going to have a bunker now in play as well. So currently command center upgrading to an orbital command, and a lot of Zerglings going to be running by, coming in from DarkForce. Will they be able to get in there? This is going to be perhaps a little bit of an issue, as the Zerglings may be able to just sneak in, and they did not try to sneak in. They could have actually run up the ramp and gotten a lot of damage in there. Just a bunch of free Zerglings, and I think DarkForce lost his moment of opportunity. He does know that the barracks were moved away, but still did not go up there, and DarkForce could have dealt a terrible, terrible blow to MMA, but MMA now getting perhaps Blue Flame research, getting up that second factory as well. And it looks like those Blue Flame Hellions will be able to destroy those Zerglings rather easily and quickly. Now, one thing to note, Blue Flame Hellions still, regardless of patch 140 or 136, still take down Zerglings in 2 shots. So that is important to note, as those Hellions are still going to be just as effective against those Zerglings. A Roach War now coming into play as the Zergling quickly runs around that backside once again. Marine holding his ground, able to shoo away that Zergling there. Now, 2 Hellions being trained, 1 Blue Flame Tech, Orbital Command, also training additional SCVs to saturate into this location here. And I do not believe DarkForce knows about this command center. No, he has really no insight on what's going on inside this base right now. There is 1 Zergling at the Zelnaga Watchtower. That poor Zergling gonna get toasted. Get toasted right there. He does get a little bit of damage off 2 shots onto that Hellion, as we are now getting up this 3rd hatchery. No macro hatch coming in from DarkForce as of yet. We can see the Baneling's Nest now coming in, as well as these Blue Flame Hellions looking to toast some drones. Roaches are being trained. There are queens as well. 1 queen down over here, another queen up on the high ground. The Zerglings are spaced out, hoping to perhaps catch these Hellions off guard, but that Blue Flame Tech about to be completed, and now it is going to be very, very difficult for DarkForce to fight off this army with just Zerglings. He needs more Roaches, he needs more Banelings, and he needs the Baneling movement speed in order to catch up with those Hellions on that catch up with those Hellions even on that creep. Excuse me. We are going to get additional spine crawlers down over here. 50 seconds to build a spine crawler. Hellions and Marines are slowly pushing their way out as well. We'll see what's going to be happening here as a queen stuck in between no man's land right there. As now, those Blue Flame Hellions and Marines are going to destroy a lot of these creep tumors. Roaches are now going to try to come in, get some easy damage there. The Glio reconstitution hasn't been completed. Thus, Hellions will be able to retreat and regroup. Oh, 1 Hellion deciding not to turn around in time, so a very nice counterattack from DarkForce in order to at least counter the units that MMA is currently going for. The Roaches will just walk up that ramp and be able to destroy that Marine rather quickly there, as the Hellions are backing off. We should be checking into a different line now. It looks like Siege Tech has not been started, but we are double training siege tanks and also running off of the engineering base, double engineering bay upgrades, the level 1 weapons and armor upgrades. The Spire now being added by DarkForce, so DarkForce wanting to add Mutalisks to his armies most likely in order to perhaps clean up and deny map control from these Hellions. The problem is going to be the number of barracks that you see MMA running off of, 1 with a reactor, and they will be upgraded 1-1 in just a few seconds. Roaches now coming out to engage. 1 Roach cannot take on 3 Hellions. More Roaches finally coming over to offer some support, as the Gold Command Center now going to be landing here at these gold minerals, or rather an orbital command going to be landing at these gold minerals in just a moment, and that is going to be a very, very difficult line to break, especially with those siege tanks. Siege tanks and Marines, they're going to defend off this attack here. Zergling is now going to come around the corner on the far side. It looks like they'll be able to perhaps just simply run in and deal a lot of damage to these SCVs. Yes, getting some damage onto those SCVs already. Marines, however, coming back over. The Zerglings want to run up that ramp, and it looks like 2 will be able to get some scouting in and pretty much see everything that's happening here. MMA having a lot of production buildings. SCVs coming off the mineral line, as well, I'm not quite sure what that was. Was that an armory or an engineering bay? Not quite sure. What was that over there? Can't see it even in the fog of war. So Marines, siege tanks are now once again doing another push. Hellions cleaning up creep tumors once more. There is 1 spine crawler down over here, and a queen. Roach is now coming out to engage. Siege tanks are going to siege and just blast away those Roaches. And what a horrible engagement for DarkForce, losing a lot of Roaches there. We are now seeing MMA running up into his 3rd base. There is 1 a sensor tower in the center portion of the map, and it looks like the Terran MMA going to be able to just simply push. He doesn't even have any medevacs whatsoever. So this is a rather strange composition. Just mass Marines and siege tanks. Roaches are now going to be engaging. Banelings now trying to push in as well. The Roaches are going to be able to shut down many of those siege tanks. The Banelings do not have that movement speed upgrade, as those Banelings are trying to run into the group, and MMA unable to split up a lot of his Marines and taking a lot of damage there. production value, DarkForce was able to actually do a very good trade. No metavacs, and even though the movement speed upgrades on those banelings was not yet completed, MMA looked like he just got overconfident with his attack. What, 3 Mutalisks going to be able to destroy that 1 Marine very easily, and perhaps also take down another SCV. Missile turret is operational and going to be able to push back that Mutalisk there. We are now running off of, or will be running off of, 4 bases soon by MMA. Meanwhile, DarkForce is running off of 4 hatcheries, 3 bases, and he really needs to do something with his standing army now. You can see a lot of damage. A Zergling's going to finish off this missile turret by this Xel'Naga tower here and deny some site control. A Zergling could activate that Xel'Naga tower and then shoot down this 1 missile turret and then perhaps cause a lot of harassment with those Mutalisks. Another hatchery has been placed down as well as the Mutalisk taking to the skies and going to deal perhaps a devastating blow to MMA, as this side over here, there are a couple missile turrets, however, covering this line. There are Zerglings down over here as well. MMA has re-macroed up and now has a stronger food count, sitting on 80 SCVs. Mutalisk now flying in, going to be able to shut down a second missile turret already, and now going after these engineering bays. The engineering base may get destroyed. It looks like another missile turret will be coming in, but at least stopping the level 2 armor upgrades in its tracks. That will delay it for about another minute and 20 seconds, as you gotta also add in, another 2 minutes. As you also got to add in the engineering bay construction time. Mutalisks is still hiding off over here. The Mutalisks are upgraded 1-0, but not going to matter very much at all. Still a lot of Marines off over here. Level 2 weapons upgrade about to be completed, needing about another minute or so. And I think it will be completed by the time we have our next engagement. Siege tanks are also getting that level 1 weapons upgrade. Very important to be able to one-shot Zerglings even with an armor upgrade, as another command center being added. Missile turrets doing their job, trying to fight back. Going to set down a siege tank, and another missile turret may get destroyed. No, it is going to burn to a crisp though. Yes, it does get destroyed, burning to a crisp there. And burning down, as the Mutalisks still trying to figure out what they can do in terms of any sort of pressure. Taking a look at the losses are fairly even. It is just the macro of MMA, the income of MMA, significantly larger, as we are now starting to even out in terms of food. 79 versus 84, but that is before you even consider any mules in play. 8 siege tanks, 60 Marines, and 5 medevacs. For MMA, not that many siege tanks. Rather surprised, but we are going to be coming in with a drop over here. 1 Mutalisk going to get destroyed. A Queen absorbing a lot of damage. That Queen now backing off, and that medevac going to get destroyed there. Banelings are being hatched as well. You can see another drop. 3-4 Marines. DarkForce, I do not believe he did not spot this group of Marines landing up on the high ground. Missile turrets are being added, but will they be completed in time is the key question. That is a lot of Mutalisks. Those Mutalisks are going to be able to destroy all of those SCVs as they're building just in time. And it doesn't look like, no, there's 1 missile turret that will be able to complete, but will not even be able to destroy 1 Mutalisk at all. This command center now upgrading to a planetary fortress. It looks like it will burn down and perhaps be canceled, as Marines are now pushing back over here. DarkForce going to lose this hatchery, so it is still going to be 4 bases versus 4 bases here. Yes, the drone did show up, so it was a nice cancellation there, as the Marines and siege tanks with a Thor now being added as well. Marines are pushing their way through, and it looks like a lot of damage may be had. Zerglings and Banelings are trying to swarm in and surround. The Banelings did back off just in time there, as the Banelings, is it going to be able to splash apart? No, it is not going to be able to get any damage onto those poor Marines. 1 siege tank getting destroyed ever so slightly, as it looks like MMA now taking to the skies. Mutalisks are now coming in. The Thors now going to try to come in as well. The Banelings unable to splash any of their targets, and a lot of siege tanks were out of position there, but the Mutalisks are being forced to back off once again, as the siege tanks will be able to shell from the high ground. Mutalisks and Banelings once again being hatched. A lot of units in production. 31 Banelings. If they can find those Marines, a terrible damage to be had, as those siege tanks may be able to perhaps start finishing off the hatchery. A lot of Marines on the low ground. Banelings will not be able to get up that ramp at all, as It looks as though the Marines are going to be pushing in once again. We are going into a greater spire, but will it be in time is the key question. That Queen has absorbed a lot of damage and now finished off all of these siege tanks. In trouble though. MMA without an escort on 4 siege tanks, gonna lose those all. As wow, a couple of those siege tanks know the Mutalisks need to back off, and a lot of Mutalisks also destroyed as well. Banelings are lying in wait. Where is it? Actually, no, those Banelings apparently never going to attack. 33 Banelings, but no GG at all, as DarkForce, oh sorry, no GG, of course there's a GG. DarkForce says the GG, so Banelings will not be able to detonate on any of those Marines. I think if DarkForce had engaged or perhaps caught a lot of those Marines off guard, would have been able to fight, perhaps even trying to do a Baneling drop onto those SCVs may have been, or sorry, onto these Marines may have been very effective as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1 of this series.